And again, I'm firmly against any abuse or assault, but that includes verbal attacks, Karen. And the modern woman knows the cards she holds when it comes to arguments or any conversations with a man. Gentlemen, have you ever felt like you've walked into a world of batshit crazy? Or better yet, have you wasted any significant amount of time on conversations where beating a dead horse would have been more reasonable than uttering another useless syllable? You know the type of conversations where you're always on the verge of letting loose a string of vulgar Tourette slurs. Stupid son of a bitch, turtle sniffing fart wad, fuck! It's like, my gosh, were you born stupid? Or have you actually put forth an effort? Was practice involved? Was there a specific regiment? Arguments in the morning and bitching in the evening, followed by illogical affirmations while you sleep? Because the hell with equal pay between men and women's sports, you're in a league of your own, babe. Give her a raise, she wins gold. Now, to be gender neutral, I've beat my head against the wall discussing ignorance with many a man. Lots of dumbasses out there, check the YouTube comments, myself included, at times. But some of my most heated and useless squabbles have been with the opposite sex. You guys have been there, you know what I'm talking about, so there's no need to nosedive into the depths of man's logical tendencies, A plus B equals C, against women's emotional propensity. A plus B equals, wait, did I tell you what Karen said about my hair? Can you believe her? So I want to discuss how we can resolve the discrepancies between men and women in conversation. See, with a man, I know my boundaries. For example, hey Tom, what do you think of Joe Biden? Well, I'm glad you asked. I think he's doing a fine, swell job. Tom, I'm not so sure as I point out actual facts of his deficiencies. And Tom goes on to turn red as an apple. His vein above his left eye begins to pulse faster than a fat leftist heart at an all-you-can-eat buffet, all the while claiming the world is fat-phobic. So me and Tom attempted, or at least half-attempted, civil discourse. It failed, and now it's time to roll up the sleeves and take it outside like real men. And that's a little off subject here, but they seemed a little better when a disagreement resulting in some fist-to-face action wasn't considered a terrorist act or politically incorrect. Now, at the extreme, that is how we handle dumb-ass men. We scream at each other until we're pissed, and then we slap some sense into each other, or we slap the ignorance out. Either way, it gets resolved in the man-like fashion. Now, with a woman, there's no chance of any other altercation except verbal. And even the verbal tiptoes on a male using his privilege to speak in such a patriarchal manner. But all that aside for now, women are physically weaker, and thus the only plausible mechanism for her defense is to play the emotional card. And damn it, they are a sight to see in the arena of crazy, emotions, emotions, crazy, same thing. And just to be clear, let me preface this with, a strong, good woman's emotions can be the very yin to man's yang. The dynamics of logic and emotion are a beautiful freaking dance. However, emotions without a logical purpose, without a sensible direction, without a dancing partner, if you will, are the biggest lie that shrinks in the participation trophy culture have sold since that snake sold some shit in the garden. Now back to a woman using irrational emotions as a weapon in conversation. A woman knows how to hammer the nail into man's coffin. She's been pushing his button since the first guy came home late. Where have you been, Mr. Caveman? Well, I was with the guys. Look, we killed a mammoth. And look, Karen, I got to keep a tusk. Cool as pterodactyl shit, huh? And then, despite his rational reason for being late, she gives him the unexcused tongue lashing for his tardiness. Like, how dare this man bring home the mammoth bacon? And so caveman number 1 sits there listening to why caveman number 2's wife, 3 caves and a tree over, doesn't have to put up with him being late. Probably because they're vegans, he thinks to himself, and they're going to go extinct. And yes, we've evolved from dragging them by the head of the hair, but hell, maybe we can't blame caveman number 1. And again, I'm firmly against any abuse or assault, but that includes verbal attacks, Karen. And the modern woman knows the cards she holds when it comes to arguments or any conversations with a man for that matter. And modernity promotes this nonsensical screaming match when the one shouting oppression the loudest wins. Like, here you go, weakling, here's your participation trophy for being ignorant. Gentlemen, logic can be abused, or better said, misused. So can emotions. What is meant to be the balance of logic can be weaponized to see who can win instead of coming to an agreement. And let's make this clear. Discussions are meant to find a balancing point, an axis where both people can stand. But dancing with crazy and crazy stained with emotional immaturity is a recipe for beating a dead horse. I don't know about you, but I have better things to do with my time and my words and my overall damn sanity than to fire off Tourette slurs at ignorance. I refuse to die of a heart attack due to screaming at walls. I'd rather die like a caveman number 1. Heart attack from all the mammoth meat I'm eating. Stay sane, gentlemen. Beating dead horses is for the emotional immature. Love and respect. You guys will hear from me next episode.